Hello, everyone. Hi. Hi, Maureen. Thanks for joining. First one here. I think we should give her a prize for just joining. Right. We're going to let a few more people join us and then we'll start. So we'll introduce ourselves first. I'm Janet from Diaspora Doodles, the Ajala traveler, the Ajala teacher. Can't sit still. I don't think I've ever been able to sit still. I think that's why this traveling teaching life suits me. Sorry, I'm so excited. I'm just there coughing. Anyway, I'm going to let Oyi introduce herself, and then Mom is going to introduce herself.
Hello, everyone. My name is Unye Anikwe. I am a YouTuber currently based in the UK. I am also a US and UK licensed teacher. I just started a series on my channel to explain how I got my teaching licenses from both the UK and the US while I was still back in Nigeria. So if that's something you're interested in, you want to go to my channel and don't forget to subscribe and click on the notification bell so you don't miss out on anything. I'm so happy to be here on this platform.
And then Mommy.
Hi guys, my name is Omoumi and I'm also a YouTuber. Yes, so I create content on teaching in the UK and lifestyle. So I'm a supply teacher here in the UK. So I'm awaiting my license, my UK license. I applied last year. Yes, April last year. It's over a year now. We're still waiting for TRA. So yeah, that is. So we are live. Yeah, we are live.
While we're waiting for more people, let me ask you for a few questions. Just to get the whole stage warmed up, you know me now, drama queen. So, why did you guys go into teaching? Why teaching and not something else? Because I know, apart from Momi, Onya and I, we don't have a background in teaching, but somewhere, somehow, we segued ourselves into teaching. And look at us, topping chats, just going around the world. So, why did you go into teaching, Oyin?
Yeah, so like I said in our interview, in the chat we had recorded chat, I wasn't one of those people that really wanted to teach from day one. I wanted to be a doctor, just like every, Nigerian kid. Most Nigerian kids wanted to be, doctors growing up. And I happen to have studied, had my primary education in University of Lagos Staff School. So, seeing doctors all that while, I said, oh, I wanted to be a doctor. But then, you know how Nigerian universities are, you just keep writing exams and it seems like you don't ever get the cutoff points.
Yeah.
Got into school, studied geophysics, funny enough, and getting jobs in the oil sector back then. If you don't have an uncle or whatever, it's not that easy. So
Yeah.
then I got married, and with marriage, I had to move to a different location, and I followed a friend, tagged along, follow now to do an interview. I got it at a school, and I'm one of those people that once I set out to do something, I don't just settle for less. I want to give it my best. So since I was already in the teaching profession, I had to, bring in be the best I could be in teaching. I remember when I was in the Nigerian school where I was, there was a period I applied to like over 50 schools. That holiday period, I said, I am not going to remain here. I applied to 50 schools. I started going around looking for schools for my children because I was saying, I'm not going to be here next school year. So for me, it was more like a step of faith. And that was how I got the international school. And man, the day I stepped into that place, I was like, is there somewhere like this in this country? I'm like, asking people, how do I become a teacher? How do I become a teacher? And then that was it. So it wasn't from passion for me. It was as I went in there, I developed the passion in the course of the job.
Wow. I think mine, I wanted to do medicine too, but yes, my story will come after my own story because my story is a bit of a drama kind of story.
Okay. Well, for me, I would say I've loved teaching right from when I was young. So my dad is a professor. Like when I had chats with J. So my mom is also a teacher. So like it's inborn. Though my mom wanted me to study medicine, every parent like no, not every parent, like some mothers will want, okay, mama doctor, that that kind of thing. So, so my mom wanted me to study medicine actually, or probably dentist, anything in the health line. So, but for me and my dad, because my dad, all of us, you study what you want to do, you do what you want to do. He would accept that. He would encourage you to do that. But my mom wanted, is it that medicine or nursing or dentistry? I did exams for nursing. I did my first choice was for medicine. My first jam. So those in Nigeria will know what JAMB is. It's just like an entry exam into the university, was medicine, dentistry, and something. But I kept on picking education as my second choice. I knew what I wanted, but let me just do that. So by my second JAMB, I picked I think dentistry and then biology education. Well, God will have it. I didn't meet the cutoff for dentistry. I'm very sure if I'd gone for dentistry, maybe I would still go back to that education because it was not really what I wanted. So, well, since I didn't meet cutoff, and education, they're always ready to accept you as long as you meet and their cutoff is usually very low in most universities when it comes to education. So I just followed suit and I did my first degree in biology education. After degree, I went for service year. I served in a school. So I taught, whereby I taught biology, plant lesson and all that. And after that, I got a job in a private school, though was not paying well at all. All these small private schools. So, but I had my vision that, okay, I'm going to like go further in my education. So I applied for a master's degree as well in zoology education. In fact, I think that was the first time they started zoology education in OAU. Either you do zoology or you do education. Now they made it a combined course. So I did that, and from there, I went into teaching for a while, had career break, marriage, child, giving birth, and all that. So, well, that is my story of teaching.
Wow. Do you know what? I just like how you were running away from teaching. Oye was not running away from teaching. I was running away from teaching because my parents work in education as well. My mom was a teacher, and then my dad was in education as well, but he was doing more of audiovisual and all those kind of things. And I remember one thing I didn't want to be a teacher. But every holiday, I would gather children, all my cousins and everything, when they come over to my house, and I'll be teaching them. I remember I used to sing a song about the periodic table. And I'll teach them Boknofne, na managing director, na manager, and then I'll make, because NA, of course, in the periodic table, and then MG, that's magnesium, and then I'll now say I'll sift clear. Do you know what? Everybody, because of that, everybody was into like chemistry. So I was if I want to put it in perspective, I've been teaching since I was in GS2, because they used to look forward to me teaching them and all those kind of things. But if you tell me be a teacher, I'm like, what? Huh? Teacher? No, I'm going to be a doctor. I'm going to Unilag. I'm going to Unilag. I even used to look at people like, what about ABU? I'm like, is that a university? No way, I'm not going to ABU. I'm going to Unilag or bust. Until Unilag now told me, yeah, your cutoff, your score, your JAM score is high, but we need higher. So no, you sit down in the corner. And then I was now looking for any school to just jump into. And then I ended up at Ambrosalo University, Ekpoma, and that was more of University of Life for me, because that university, if you go to Ambrosalo University and you don't learn about life, no. You guys went to universities that you were being pampered now. Malabites, Ife. I went to Ambrosalo University, and I decided after that if I can survive in that university, I can survive anywhere. And then I decided, okay, now the Ajala spirit shall begin. It shall begin in earnest. Okay, there are people coming in And I can see that Onye is being moderator. Thank you very much for that. Let's start greeting people. So welcome, Maureen. Let's see who else is there in the house. There was a question from someone who said, are there non-English teachers in the non-English teachers, are they accepted for jobs in the UK? I will say we are all classed, everybody on this channel right now is classed as a non-English speaker. However, when you go to that interview, make sure that after you leave, they don't even think about anything about non-English speaker about you. It's the confidence you come across and you sit down and you show them how it's done. Because you know what? I always think that we are the better people to teach because we learned the language and we're proficient in the language. Because I don't know if it happens to you guys. If you ask me to write Hausa now, I will write it. But there's some things you ask me to do. I can't do it. I mean, for Yoruba, I can't, but I can speak it, and I'm really proficient in the language. But I think I'm better in English, in the writing, the grammar, the syntax, the nuance, everything like that. But Yoruba, I just speak it as a language because it's my mother tongue. Hausa, I speak it because it's something that is like my mother tongue. I don't know if you guys have anything to add to that.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. There are jobs for English teachers, but then not as much when it comes to areas like math, science, because you understand that why the reason why they are bringing in immigrants to work there in the UK is to fill up the areas where there are shortages, right? And I mean, this is the UK. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. So if if you're open to considering other countries where English is not their first language, then your chances will be higher. However, the opportunities are still here. It's just that it's slimmer compared to subjects that are in demand.
Wow. Okay, should we do a quick greet because I can see we have people from Peru, we have people from Colombia. I cannot believe my eyes.
Wow.
Thank you guys for coming because when we brought this idea up, we thought, okay, we'll just share our ideas, share our experience. We didn't know that YouTube would beam us to everybody. So we'll say a quick thank you for coming and shout out to Odolua, Shaikh, Salman. Oyin is here. Hello, Oyin again. Nasiru, Muhammadu, Maureen. Is that Maureen Cajetan or that's a Spanish name, I'm presuming. Gloria Bazan, hello. Hi, Benny Charles. Yeah, hi, David. Hi, Ohis Ogedengbe. That's my that's my person from Edo State representing. Hi, Uchechi. Hi, Benny Charles. And hi, Success. And hi, Neoma. Hi, Ola Joye. Welcome to our Q&A. So we'll quickly run through the questions now. Maureen says, I never wanted to be a teacher. My mom was a teacher. Same thing with us, Maureen. Many of us don't plan to go into it, but you know what? We go into it and we kill it. We do a fantastic job because when we come around to that point when we know that we can give in the classroom, we give 110%. So well done for that. Who else? Hi, Gloria from Peru. I love Peru. Do you know what? I still want to go back to Latin America. My time in Venezuela was fantastic. I think Peru is where I'm going to go next because, yes, I hear a lot of wonderful things about Peru. Maureen says, I would say it's to her in those days, she would laugh and say, Lekwagi, Lekwagi teaching. I understand. Then I suddenly developed a passion for teaching. Yes. I also finished from AAU. What? EKP in the house.
Wow.
Look. EKP. Yes, please. You see how AAU people are. We don't hide. He had to put it there. Well done for you.
I think you
I was
skipped,
on Ojole Extends,
okay.
but I don't.
I think you skipped Nasiru's question.
Did I? I'm
Yeah,
so sorry,
Yes.
Nasiru. That.
just had my
Oh,
QTS as a teacher from Ghana, but got a job in the U. But getting a job in the UK is very difficult for me. Please, I need your help.
right. Are you going to answer that question, or should I pick it up? Should I start it?
Okay, I think Omomi should go first.
Omomi is the
Okay.
guru. I'm the
Uh,
international teacher. I'm everywhere. If you talk about Norway, Australia, Egypt, Oman, everywhere, Myanmar, yes. But for the UK specifically, even though I've taught in the UK, there's someone who is here who has taught in the UK consistently. She is not Ajala like me. She's the Oba, and she know they go transfer. Omomi, can you answer that question?
Yeah, hi Nasiru. Thank you for the question. I would just say we're getting a teaching job in the UK. You have to be patient because everything about getting a job in the UK, they go through stages, which is they don't just like because we need teachers, let's just get people in, even if you have the QTS. So it's in stages. I would just say you should continue. Yes, you should continue with your search. You should continue with all these websites Jay has talked about. I've talked about it on my channel. I've brought a recruiter on my channel. You can also try out with that recruiting agency, which is Engage Education, and other agencies. We have Dunbar Education, we have Quantum Scholars. You can also try applying with this agency because it's faster with agency. Faster in the sense that it's not that probably in a week or 2 weeks, because I know we all are not patient. We want it sharp, sharp. But it's something that is in stages. With Engage Education, I've seen someone that came through Engage Education. He started last year, September. He's in outside London. So he's probably watching this because he shared this live also. So he came in through Engage Education, and that is a lot of people has actually come into the UK through teaching. And when they tell you their story, it's not something that it's easy. Yes, you just have to keep pushing and then try all these agencies. And by the grace of God, with luck, you get one. Yes.
Okay, so
I'm just going to quickly. Sorry, go on, Oni.
yeah, I'm going to talk based on my own personal experience. It depends on what subject area you teach. But one thing I know
Yeah.
is they want to see that UK work experience on your CV.
Yeah.
As soon as you're able to get that on, it gets easier. So, first thing would be I know Jay is all about volunteering, but I understand the way UK can be. You need the money. So, I would say consider trying
But I think
agencies. They are
this person talking, sorry. I think this person talking is outside the UK.
okay.
So
Nasiru, maybe you
yeah.
let us know. Fine. Whether if you're outside the UK, then you have to consider agencies that bring in
Mm,
immigrants. Agencies like Quantum
yeah.
Scholars and
Dollars,
Engage.
yeah.
And then
Mm,
the gov.uk website is another resource a lot of people are not taking advantage of as much as they
yeah.
should. So you go on the
Yes.
gov.uk website, click on your the area you cover, and then click on visa sponsorship. With visa sponsorship, you will see those schools that offer jobs with visa sponsorship. Is it going to be easy? Is it going to be like easy? It's not. It's a process, because even the people who are here on ground in the UK still have to go through a process. UK is not one of those places where they put in any kind of teachers in the classroom. So yes, it's doable, but you need to be patient and keep applying if you're outside the UK. But if you're in the UK already, take advantage of the teaching agencies in your location. The more you get into the classroom, the more those agencies get conversant with you, the more opportunities you get. Take advantage of LinkedIn as well. This one has really worked for me. So when I got here, I had to go to LinkedIn, update my profile, put in my, the recent job I do here. And I realized I was getting other agencies and even, schools reach out to me from LinkedIn. So LinkedIn is another thing you need to go and package properly and take advantage of.
I will also add here that even though I always talk about volunteering, in my experience, I came into the UK, even though I had teaching experience from the US and Venezuela, they still treated me like I was, because to them, I didn't have British experience. That's what I want to say. I didn't have British experience. And I was tired of waiting for agencies, because even the agencies were looking at me like, they didn't even know where to put me. This is why I went to volunteer. I was doing care work, and I think I have videos on my channel where I explained the whole thing of what I learned. I was doing care work at night, and in the daytime, I was volunteering. Now, I wasn't volunteering the whole week. Of course not. Nobody would do that. However, that volunteering experience opened the door for me, so that even when the agents were not giving me that experience, just 15 days in the classroom volunteering opened my eyes to what I was not adding to my CV. Because let me tell you, that CV goes a long way. So the things that I then added to my CV was volunteering. How do you prove that you have a passion for something? Volunteering. You're doing it without getting paid. How do you prove that you're adaptable? You're volunteering and you're taking a support role without getting paid. It just ticked off a lot of things for me. Yes, I understand the cost of living crisis is not going to be on your side, which is why I tell people, when you come into the UK, say you're on a student visa, you're on a care visa, you're on any other visa, the government has given you 20 hours. Now, make good use of that, of the 20 hours, to then transition into teaching. So that way you're still earning money, but you're gradually going into teaching. I mean, someone I mentored came in, and she was doing her master's. And even on her master's, she first started from learning support assistant. She did that for 3 months. Then she went on to support teacher. Then she went on to unqualified teacher. And now she's heading her department. So the volunteering that she did, like, sort of just busted that door open. I'm an ECPOMA graduate. We know how to make things work. Where there's a way, where there's a will, there's a way. If they're not giving you shifts with the supply agency, volunteer. You will still get what they want you to get on your CV, and you'll be in faster, because you can prove so many different things with your volunteering experience. And because you're not being paid, they don't expect much from you. They're teaching you, and you are taking it all in fast. So that's what I would advise, Nasiru. Yeah, but you can reach out to any one of us with your CV, so that we can have a look at your CV and to see what it is that you're not adding onto that CV. Because teaching CV is it's slightly different from other CVs, and you need to be particular about the keywords that you use: adaptability, being able to work in a diverse classroom, being able to work with children who are not meeting up with the curriculum, being able to help with the gaps in their learning, being able to create an inclusive classroom. So many things that you would think, oh, these are small things, but they're very crucial, especially when you work in the diaspora. So yeah, can we take the next question? I hope that's okay, Nasiru. You can reach out to any one of us, and we will help you with your CV and your personal statement. Very crucial.
Yeah, so Olajoye is saying, so are you saying a graduate in English language education cannot teach English in the UK?
You can teach. However, you need to be very, very sincere with yourself. If you have a school where you're teaching Yoruba, for instance, and I tell you I'm from Jos, and Omomi tells you that she's from Ibadan, which one would you hire to teach Yoruba? I don't think you will hire me if I say I'm from Jos, because you will think, that person will not know the language as much as the person who is from there. So you have to put in things onto your CV that will make you stand out. And then you have to make sure your speaking is on point. I'm not saying go and develop a fake accents. No, because accents are different. An American accent is different from an Australian accent, and it's different from an English accent. And even in England, I think there's about 20 different accents here in England. A Geordie accent is different from a Mancunian accent, and it's different from a Devon accent. However, what would distinguish you is knowing how to speak clearly. Because some people will take the mic, that they will make fun of you and say, they can't understand you. No, I'm speaking clearly and I'm speaking in English. You can understand me because you can understand me better than you can understand the Geordie accent. So sit there and listen carefully. So just
Exactly.
work on your pronunciations and make sure they're clear, and
Yeah.
they will hire you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Somebody
So I want
contribute.
to okay, you should go first. I want to talk about what Damnola has asked. Yes, well done, Jay, with what Jay has said. You should like polish your English, like she has said, and all that. But I would say yes, it's possible for you to get to be an English teacher here in the UK, because I would say from my experience, you can also get a TEFL, which is teaching English as a foreign language certificate. Is like a course you can go for that. Because I remember when I taught in the college, I was asked by the top management if I could teach ESOL, which is just like teaching English as a foreign language. If I had that certificate, I would have been hired immediately. But because I am a science teacher, I'm not in that line. So probably if I was an English teacher, or I have that certificate of teaching English as a foreign language, immediately I'll just because they needed the teacher desperately. So answering to that Damola's question, yes, it is possible. You can get some certifications, and going back to Nasuru, you can also do some CPDs just to boost your CV, just like Jay has said.
Yeah.
Can I just
Somebody.
add here that if you're trained to teach primary, you don't need a TFL. Why? I'm trained to teach primary and I teach English. Because if you're trained to teach primary, you're trained to teach all subjects. So you don't need a TFL. You can do CPDs instead. Secondary, because secondary you have to have a specialism. So you have science, and if you're a science teacher, you're only trained to teach science. So you need a TEFL.
Yeah.
If you're a maths teacher, you're trained to teach maths, because in secondary they're
Yeah.
very particular about the subject. But if you're a primary
Yeah.
trained teacher, your TFL is already in your qualification. You can teach English. You're trained to teach English to speakers of foreign languages. So it's up to you. Just think about it. If you already have the qualification to teach, like primary or middle school, then you just need CPD so that you don't waste your money. The transfer charges, the exchange rate is not easy. So me, I like to save my money. So yeah, think about that.
Yeah, Danielle made an input. She said she used point to point agency and she got a job immediately. So I'm assuming that is an agency that caters to international teachers. So maybe Nasi, you can
Yeah.
also check that out and see if that helps. Thank you, Danielle. Is there any opportunity for teachers in Canada? PR approach, maybe. Yes, I would like
Yes.
to answer that one. There are tons of
Yes.
opportunities. And
Lots.
also, there are actually provinces in Canada where you can get the teaching license while you're still in your home country. So that will make the process easy. But there are specific areas like early childhood in most provinces is a big deal. Places like Newfoundland and Labrador, Nova Scotia, they need early childhood teachers. And I think science, math is general for all
All
countries.
countries.
Yes. So yes,
Everywhere.
Yeah.
opportunities. The opportunity. So it's just for you to understand the immigration pathway for Canada. But like Jay would always say, go where you're wanted. If you're really
Mm.
keen on getting into teaching, begin to consider exploring countries where they need teachers, international teachers actually have what you already have, right? There are tons of benefits with teaching internationally, as in proper international schools, that most Nigerians are not aware of. So rather than consider countries like the UK, um, Canada, you may want to consider this country.
Yes.
But it depends on your reason though. So if your reason is something else, then fine. But if your goal is just to put yourself out there, teach internationally, and make the cool cash, begin to think about countries like Europe, Asia. Those places actually need teachers like you, and that's a very good place to start.
In Norway, you don't need a QTS. You just need to have your first degree and a master's, and you are there, and they will pay you good money. And you don't need to stress yourself, because some of the jobs that you get in Norway, for instance, I'm using Norway as an example because I've worked in Norway, and some of the things that you will get there are that you see that relocation allowance and the visa fees and all those things. It's your employer that needs to pay it because it's a government thing. At least that's what happened for me. So I didn't need to pay. So that big money that you guys pay to come to the UK, no, I didn't have to pay that.
Yeah,
I didn't have
include
to pay that.
your children as well. Maybe you want to talk about that.
Oh, please hold my tea. So the first thing is that they will give you the relocation allowance. My relocation allowance was 3,000 euros. I didn't get accommodation in Europe because Europe, they think that Europe is good enough for you. You don't have stress with accommodation. You can take it from your salary. However, in the Middle East, they took care of me. I was like a little pampered cat. The accommodation was there, the flights, they will fly you there, they will fly you back. You have Bupa health insurance. What else? Your children go to the same school where you teach. So I released a video yesterday and someone asked me a question. She said, "What about the children's school?" I said, "No, if you're an international school teacher, it's a given that your children come to the same school that you're in, especially if you're an expatriate teacher," which I was classed as. So you're not looking for any school for your children. The school just, they will ask you at interview, and you have to be very honest with them. Yes, I have 10 children, or yes, I have 2 children. So they can then put them into your contract, and they get the flights, they get the health insurance, they get everything. So basically they are flying you there like a cat, and they're flying you back home at the end of your contract, which is good. Which is why I tell people, go to places where people don't rush to. If you go to all those places that are not UK, US, Canada, Australia, they will treat you well because they are happy for you to come there, and they treat teachers better in those kind of countries.
Yes. So what I would like to say is, because I know a lot of people believe that once you just get a QTS equals getting straight into the UK classroom. That's not the way. You just have to bear that in mind. There are still lots of
Yeah.
hurdles to cross. You have to be patient. Unlike care work, where you can easily just get into care, get your certificate of sponsorship, and it doesn't work that way with teaching. So it's not a quick route to getting your immigration, except for those who are lucky to get teaching jobs from back home, right? You get recruited from back home. But if you're in the UK, you have your QTS, you have to pay your dues. It's a process. You have to take it one step at a time, be consistent, do your CPDs, show that you're capable, prove
Yeah.
yourself, and then you get what you want. So I just wanted to point that
If
out.
I
That is not a
Yeah,
get
if
into
I
the
can just add,
yeah.
yeah, if I can just add to that, care work is not a skilled worker job. Teaching is it's a professional course, so there's a difference.
Yeah.
When you want to go into care, as someone who worked in care when I first came to the UK, care, when you go for your care job, they just ask you to do a literacy test. That's all. Can you read? Can you write? Can you read labels?
Yeah.
Can you all those kind of things. But teaching, has anyone written that QTS skills test? You
I
will know
didn't
that
do
you are entering a professional job when by the time you write that QTS skills test. But that's the first step to tell you, yes, I'm rising above the general public in this profession, and I need to keep up with everything that they're doing in there. So that's it.
Okay, next question. Do you think an experience as a support worker will suffice?
Experience as a support worker in what field? Can you be specific?
Mhm.
I'm assuming is healthcare support worker.
Okay, I know that there's no job on earth that does not have transferable skills to teaching. You just have
Yeah.
to be able to find it out. So what I did, if you watch that video that I released, when the deputy head teacher sat with me, what in essence what she did was she brought out the job description of a care worker. Then she brought out the job description of a teacher. And then we looked at things that overlap. For example, you have to take care of your patients or the person you're taking care of in care. Also in the classroom, you need to take care of people's children. You need to be aware of the safety. In classroom as well, you need to be aware of the safety. So you have to then sit down. It's up to you to sit down and do the work. Look at all the transferable skills that you need: time management, adaptability, resilience, patience, all those things. And then you find a way to put it into teaching. And then your CV will pop from your support work.
If you also are already a graduate, you could take advantage of the agencies and get started as a teaching assistant. So that will put you in the classroom, and then you can observe the other teachers, observe what they do. CPDs are also very important. As you
Yeah.
observe, you upgrade yourself, and then you can then gradually transition into teaching. So, Maria, welcome. Thank you, Maria, for joining us. Next
So I have
question
a
is
question here from Tokwe Busari. I applied for QTS last year, but I was denied because of language proficiency. I did not also include PGDE because the certificate isn't ready. Should I wait for the certificate or just reapply? I would advise you, Busari, to wait for the certificate before you reapply, because if you reapply without your PGD, you will definitely be denied again. And then you should, one of the requirements we submitted last year was English proficiency. If I was like the third or fourth requirement. So you have to get this from your, so you can, your a medium of English was accepted. So you can get this from your university where you studied, that you actually studied in English language. Or if you have IELTS academic, you can also use that. And I think you should wait for your PGC certificate before you reapply.
I think we skipped a question from David. He said, please, can you talk through the teaching qualifications in UK? Currently teaching in a college, I would want to know how to get one and the right one.
Oh, there are so many, so many. It depends on the pathway you want to take. Like Onye did her PGC, she got her teaching qualification from Nigeria. So there are online qualifications where you can get remotely. There's also the get into teaching for people who already were in a different profession before and they want to come into teaching. So they will count your years of experience, they will count in all the credits you got from uni, and they'll sort of put you at a place where you don't have to do the whole thing because of all the skills you already have from your other job. There's also the one where you go in for a Bachelor of Education, where it's a 3-year course. If you're in the UK, in Nigeria, it's a 4-year course. I think Omomi can tell us more about that because she got her Bachelor of Education from Nigeria. I didn't do education. I just segued into it in the middle after I finished my microbiology degree. There's also the PGCE, and you have to make sure you take the PGCE with QTS, because if you take the ordinary PGCE because you think it's cheaper, you will not be able to work in a UK classroom, and you will not be able to use your PGCE to work in other countries, because the QTS means that you are registered to teach here. It's like the license for you to teach. So if you just do the PGCE on its own, you'll be like a doctor who has not done residency, and so you can't practice, or a pilot who doesn't have a license to fly. You've done the theory, you don't have the license to fly, they will not allow you to fly. So try to get the PGCE with QTS so that you get the whole thing complete. There's also the assessment only route. So for instance, for people who already have teaching qualifications in their country, but they don't have QTS and they don't want to go through the rigors of waiting for the TRCN or GKS, like what they have in Kenya and all those other different ones, you can go in and tell, there's a place on gov.com where they'll tell you all the different providers, training providers, where it's a 12-week course, the assessment only route. I did that, so I know about it. So you get the 12-week route is the one where you tell them, hey, I'm a qualified teacher. I can meet all your teaching standards, all the things, all the points on your teaching standards. Come into the classroom and assess me and just give me my QTS straight away, because I can't wait for the long journey of getting TRCN and all those other things. So they will let you stay in the classroom for a term. You have to find a job for that. They'll let you stay in the classroom for a term. And then they'll send someone out to come out and assess, not judge. They'll send someone out to come and assess you to see if you really meet all the points on the teaching standards, and then they'll give you your QTS. So there are lots of ways to get into teaching. You just have to choose which one is good for you. If you go for the assessment only route, I think it's between 1,000, depends on the training provider you go with. Some will charge 1,000, some will charge £15, some would, but the highest will be 4,000 for the 12 weeks. If you go for the QTS, so let's say you have PGDE and you want to go for the QTS only, the course is about 2,200. I know Sunderland does it for £2,200. So you don't want to do the 12-week one because you think that's it's too stressful. You want to do it slowly over 2 years. It's 2,200. If you want to do the PGCE, it's a 9-month course. You need to be in a school and then you call them out. That's about 9,200. If you want to do the B.Ed, that's a 3-year course. So multiply that by 3 and all those kind of things. Or you can do what OE did and you get an American certification and then you just change it to QTS and it's just easy. Different routes into one market. Just choose the one that you want.
Yeah. So next question is, I kind of moved too fast. Do I need to obtain the IELTS test here in my country, or can I obtain abroad before getting teaching certifications?
I think you can do the IELTS anywhere.
Yes,
Can do
you
it
can
anywhere.
write.
Cambridge
Yeah.
edits or something funny like that. Yeah. Can do it anywhere. Anywhere there's a center, just apply. Go online, search for IELTS test centers near me, and it will bring up 100 or more test centers around you. And you just choose the dates that you want and book it and prepare for it and write it. And I know you will pass it because, I mean, you're awesome. That's why you're on this channel today.
How do you suggest I bring up the issue of sponsorship for a college that is not listed?
Right. I had this with someone I mentored very recently. The college said they didn't have the license to sponsor, but she went for the interview and they really liked her. So the first thing I would advise is make sure you charm them with your personality. Let them see that it's either you or bust. Then the subject of license, the COS will come up and they will say they don't know anything about it. Now, because you've already impressed them and they like you and they want to keep you, you can do some background checks and just point them in the right direction and say, actually, if you do 1, 2, 3, it's not hard. And then they'll go on that journey. Sometimes we have to give them that little nudge. We women, we use it on our husbands. We know how to suggest something and make it seem as if it's the person's idea. I think you should use that as well when it comes to getting jobs abroad. Just nudge them in the right direction. Because if you ask me how to get a visa to Nigeria, I can't tell you because I don't need a visa to Nigeria. But if you tell me, oh, we hear that it's the National Immigration Service, then I know where to go. Something like that. You know where to go. So you do your research and then suggest it. And yeah, they will follow.
Yeah, because most of them are actually able to sponsor, but they don't know that it's a thing.
Yeah.
Also, you may want to already add them to your CV and begin to explore other colleges.
Yes.
I don't
Yes.
know what the timeline is for you, just in case they don't give you what you want, you have something to fall
Yeah.
back on. So
Yeah.
having them on your CV gives you an edge for another role while you nudge them to help you do that. That's just my suggestion,
Can,
though.
can I also add to that? Everybody wants what everybody wants. So now you be honest, you stay with them, put them on your CV, like Oyin has said. And then if they ask you, so what are you doing about it? Because are you staying or are you going back to your home country? Because some of them ask that question. They don't know how jarring it is to say, are you staying or are you going back to your home country? I've paid that IHSP. I'm not going anywhere. I'm going on to the next job. So you would tell them, yes, I'm here. And I was going to come over to you to give me reference later on because, yeah, I was talking to a few schools and I found one that will give me reference. If they can do it, they will run and go and get that COS for you. Trust me,
Exactly.
I know somebody who did it. They will run. But if they know that nobody wants you, they will rest. They'll say, maybe you are going to your country at the end of the year. So we will start gathering money to do send off for you.
Yeah, but you have to put in your best there so that they feel like whatever it is they have to pay to keep you there will be worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Please, what is the way for
Someone
economics
said,
education? Yeah, go ahead, mommy.
someone, okay, said, what is the fate of a French teacher, please?
What? Your hot cake? Who's that?
Yes, sir. Yes, hot cake, just like
Modern
science
foreign
teachers.
language.
French teachers are
Come to
hot.
my school.
Yes.
Come to my school. We want come to my school. Come to my school. We need modern foreign language teachers. Yes, because
Yeah.
we've had to take some subjects off the timetable because we don't have teachers for
Mm,
modern foreign language. We don't have French
yeah.
teachers. We don't have Spanish teachers. I even suggested I'll be teaching them Spanish, but they were like,
I've
no, no, no,
covered for
you
French
can't
and
teach maths,
Spanish.
computing. Yeah, I said I'll cover French and Spanish. I speak both languages, but they're like, you can't do maths and computing and French and Spanish,
Mm,
Janet.
and Spanish.
Relax.
Yeah.
Let's hire someone. So, because my workload is already 40 hours. Where will I add Spanish and French? But yes, you are hot
Yeah.
cake right now. I think
Yeah.
if you check, I think you might be eligible for a bursary, 30K bursary, because modern foreign language is hot
And I
right
think
now.
people who studied French are also eligible to get their QTS. I think
Yes.
Yes, yes, yes. They
so.
can
Maybe
switch.
what
They can
was
switch their. They can switch their license from the. If they are a licensed teacher from their country, they can switch to QTS. Yeah, the one like the one I did last year.
yeah, so that would be the
Yes.
first for
Jump
you.
on it. Jump on it quickly before they close the door.
There's a question on the screen. Well done, guys. Learn that getting a job abroad, one needs English proficiency test. But if I'm fortunate to get a related job in educational sector, do I need to do the proficiency test?
Remember that you're competing against
Well,
thousands of people who are going for this job. I will do anything that will put me ahead of everybody.
mm.
If you can prove
I
that you
also
did
got this.
yeah, go on, sorry.
Okay, I asked the same question with the recruiter from Engage Education, and she said even if you're already in the UK or even if you have, just like she said, she has a job in similar education, you still have to show the English proficiency. They want to know whether you can speak English, which you can get through NARIC or it's also
Yes,
called ECTIS.
yes. I didn't need to do a convert. I didn't need I've never done IELTS. What I did was I just printed my ECPOMA transcripts. Look, in Nigeria, I used to look down on that university, but honestly, after I've come out of Nigeria, I wave Ekpoma flag everywhere. In fact, people don't. If you don't know me, if you know me, you will know I went to Ekpoma. I printed out my transcript, sent it to the school, and they were able to see that every single module that I did, every single unit that I did in Ekpoma was taught in English. And if they count from primary school to secondary school, that's already 12 years plus university, 4 years. That means you've had more than 12 years instruction in English. You just need to print your transcript out. And if some of them still don't believe you, just run your transcript through NARIC or ENIC or
Yeah.
WES
Yes.
or
Yes.
NOKUT or any conversion website, and they will be able to print it so it's in black and white that yes, this person understands English. And if you're already in the UK or Australia or Canada or US, if you are there on a master's, print your master's out and give it to them, because with your master's you don't need to. For instance, if you're doing life in the UK test, or if you're going in for citizenship, your master's is enough to show that you are your English level, your proficiency in English is high, because that's your master's level work gives you a C2. C2 is the highest. Even British people don't speak C2 English.
Okay, so can one volunteer for a day in a week? I mean, like once a week.
Yes.
Yes, you
And
can.
there's some people I've mentored, they only do 30 minutes a week.
Okay. Please, what is the way for economics education graduates from Nigeria in the UK?
They don't do economics as a subject, unfortunately. They do, it's college level, they do accounting, but it's not even every college. Mm, they put their economics into their geography. Yeah, because when they do geography in key stage 3 and key stage 4, they do geography of countries, they do geography of, they call it developing countries and developed countries. So their economics is embedded in their geography. So they don't do economics the way you do it where you're coming from. Like in Nigeria, they do economics as a subject in secondary school. That was my worst subject, to be honest. I just felt like, oh, what is this? I don't want it. So I think the children had the same reaction to economics being taught on its own. So my advice is do some CPDs in maybe humanities. They just do humanities, that's geography, history, and project yourself as a humanities teacher with a background in economics. I don't know if that makes sense. So you do CPDs on any humanities subject that you feel speaks to you, and then in where you are right now, start doing that as part of your own wider reach in the school, and then just project yourself as that, and you'll be fine as a humanities teacher.
Someone is asking what other platforms you're streaming on. Because they can't see. We're all on YouTube live right now. Jay, could you delete this, unpin this question on the screen? Thank
I'm
you.
trying to, and I don't want to remove you.
Okay.
My use.
Think.
Thank you, mommy and friends from the live chat. Please,
Okay,
please,
someone asked, okay. Are there
go ahead.
agencies that can help in finding are there agencies that can help in finding jobs in special needs education with visa sponsorship? Yes, there will be agencies that can. You can also get the job directly if you're already in the UK. Because I know someone that got a job, a teaching job directly. It was even with an independent school, but a special needs school. So you can get it directly with these schools. Yes, with visa. The person got it with visa sponsorship. So there would be agencies, yes, recruiting for special needs education with visa sponsorship.
And can I just add there that if you go on the gov.uk website, that you are allowed to get a job straight with a school, but make sure it's a free school, a faith school, an international school, or a special needs school. So if you don't want to go through the volunteering, TA, all those
Yeah.
rigmaroling, you want to go straight into it. You're confident that your skills are up there, go straight for it. But make sure you go to, so any school you see that is an academy, that's the school that is allowed to
Yeah.
hire people straight from outside of the country. International schools, there's Cognita, there's Nord Anglia, there's so many independent. Okay, so I call them international schools, but they're inside this country. They're called independent schools. So look for those kind of schools. They will hire you straight away, even if you don't have QTS.
Yeah.
They're not mandated to hire QTS teachers with QTS. They will ask so that
I
they
even
will fulfill all
understand they're not,
righteousness.
I understand they're not even mandated to follow the national curriculum.
Look at
Yes.
me. I'm a living testament of that. We don't follow that national curriculum. We sometimes do it. So you make sure that you know about the MYP, IPC,
Yeah.
IB, all those kind of things. You'll be fine. You don't have to go through the ones that are waiting for their QTS. And they'll treat you like a queen, like a princess.
Yeah. I have a master's in physics and I'm considering going into teaching because of my kids. I'm in Germany, still trying to learn the language. I don't quite understand.
Physics. Where are these people? Come to my school. Don't come to Spain. Spain doesn't pay as much. You are in Germany. You have physics. What are you waiting for? Yes, I understand that you don't have the language. Go to an independent school. Go to an international school. Go to a faith school. They will hire you with 10 hands. They will usher you home like a long lost son. Physics teachers are needed all over the world. Physics, chemistry,
Yeah.
maths, English, physics, chemistry, maths. Oh, please, where are they hiding? Come to Spain. Come to Spain. Come to Norway. Come to Spain. Come, please.
Someone is saying,
Okay.
I'm currently in the UK. Which of the routes would you advise I use? Since I have teaching qualifications, I currently work with an agency as a cover supervisor, and but they are not giving me anything positive.
I always tell people supply agencies are a stopgap for getting jobs. If you want British qualification, you don't have British qualification, you are in the UK, go to a supply agency. Their job is to supply, cover. Their job is not to find permanent roles. So when you're with a supply agency and they've pushed you to one school, quickly on your CV and start applying, because now you have the British experience that schools want. You now have it. Don't stay with a supply agency for 10 years and say, they've not given. No, that's not their job. It's not
Yeah.
their job to find you a permanent role. Their job is to open the door for you so that you can enter freely. So you're not applying and applying and applying. No, they do that job for you. So if you're already with a supply agency, put it on your CV quickly, especially if you go to schools and they like you and they've asked for you a second
Mhm.
time. Those schools
Yeah.
will write a really good reference for you. Then you put them, only them, you don't even put all the other ones, put that school and then apply for permanent roles. And the
Yes.
schools you apply to for permanent roles will see that school on your CV and they will ask you to come in because chances are they know this person now knows how we operate. This person was even asked to come back. That means that somebody, remember, if someone likes you, then you'll be more attractive to other people. So use them and take advantage.
So I will also say that while going to different schools, yes, please, you can also apply to that same school you are being supplied to if you know they need teacher. like probably, I don't know the subject you're teaching. If you know they need probably a maths teacher, you can apply to that same school where you're being supplied to. You can even okay, your agency is not giving you something positive. You can register with as many agencies as I have five of them that I work with. So
Don't
you can register with, with as many agencies as you want. And then while going to these schools, just try to like take the job. Don't take it as like I'm a supply teacher, I can wear jean. I tell people, I don't know why you see some supply teachers wearing jean, wearing trainers. Dress like you are a professional teacher. Go to that school and do your best. Even the school might even talk to you sideline. I mean, like not talking to your agency if you want a permanent job, and they will later call your agency that, oh, we've hired someone you sent to us, because they have to like pay the agency off, and they will pay them off, and you become their permanent teacher. So do
yes.
it yourself.
I
Don't rely on
always
the agency. That's just it.
no. I always tell people. I think I have a video on my channel for that. The power of first impression. I walk there when I even when I volunteer. You would think my father owns the school and I have vested interest in the school. I'm there early. I talk to people. I will even be telling them, don't worry, next week we can do this, because in my head I'm
Mhm.
thinking, oh, yes, I know I will be here next week. You don't know, I know. And then we work that way. So you have to put in a lot of effort. You're trying to impress them. These people hold the key to your next step. You will impress them now. It's like, like when a guy is toasting a babe, you do everything to make sure that the girl understands that you are it. And that's what you do when you go to schools like that. And you'll be surprised they will keep you. My school where I volunteered, they offered me a job after 15 days because the way I worked, I don't leave until I finished my job. Even though I was volunteering, they were not paying me for it, but I was working like I was part of the staff. And don't forget the power of that card and that cake. They like their cake. It's called appreciation. Even the Bible will tell you that a gift opens doors for you. So use it now and to open doors for yourself. And then when don't just sit, be looking. They will advertise their jobs either on eTeach, on gov.com, on TES. Then you apply. Doesn't matter if you're volunteering, apply. They know you are there already. They can see what you're doing. Apply. Sometimes they might even tell you, okay, we don't need to hire anybody else. You're already here. We can see what you're doing, and you're a volunteer, or you are a TA, or you're a supply teacher. Might as well just come and join us, because you're already doing everything to show that you are with
Yeah.
us. So yeah.
Thanks, Uche, for joining us. Maria said, can you suggest some assessors for AOR for 12 weeks?
Assessment
Assessment,
only.
yeah.
My favorite, my university, I'm a bit biased. Sunderland forever. The way I shout OAU, I shout Sunderland. University of Sunderland, they're very good. Why? They've worked in the past 20 years, they've been working with people outside of the UK. So even before they brought their assessment only route, I call it route, assessment only route into teaching, Sunderland was already doing it. So they know, they understand if you say you're from Nigeria, they don't need NARIC. Of course, they will still do NARIC to fulfill all righteousness, but they don't need NARIC because they've had thousands of Nigerian teachers pass through them. They understand our qualification. If you say you're from the Middle East, they understand the qualification. Why? Because they've been in those countries recruiting teachers for the past 20 years. So go through Sunderland. Another one you can go through is the Open University. They are good too, but not as good as Sunderland. So we can, if you email any one of us, we have a list of all those assessment only providers, or you can go on gov.com. There's a list of providers for the assessment only route on there.
Okay, someone said, I'm a graduate of biology education, been into teaching since leaving high school, concluded my NYSC and taught biology and science. Which country would you suggest would be easier for me?
The world is your oyster, my darling. Where do you want to go? Are you comfortable in a Muslim? You can't ask me. Do you know what? Ask Oyin or Mommy. Because if you ask me, I will go to Timbuktu. I'm ready. I've gone to all 6 continents. I don't have any country that I don't go to. Myanmar. Do you know where Myanmar is? Burma. Olden days Burma. I was there. I enjoyed it. I want to go back there tomorrow if they offer me another contract that I like. So maybe ask people that are in the UK what countries they prefer. Because left to me, go to all of them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that question, you would have to be in a better position to talk about where you'd want to go to, but you
Yeah.
are able to go to anywhere you want to go to. I think you should consider TES. On that website. You can select different countries, maybe just play around with it for a start. Select different countries, see the packages, see what's obtainable there. Also, I would ask, what certifications are you going to be putting forward? Because it's not enough to say you want to go teach. Have you equipped yourself? Because I mean, international teaching is not the same thing with what's obtainable in Nigeria. So you need to be putting in some CPDs there. And then you also need to, if you're able to get a certification in there as well, that will give you an edge. But with what you have, you're able to teach anywhere. Max you need to do is go with the credential evaluators. You'll be able to evaluate your results. Are you willing to teach in an American school, or is it a UK school? Because international teaching, there are different curriculums. Is it American? Is it an IB school? Is it a PYP school? They are different. It's different. So know where you want to be, but play around with TES. Because if you look through, you understand a bit more of what we're talking about. So is it American
Yeah,
curriculum, British curriculum, whatever? But you're able to go
yeah.
anywhere. It's up to you.
I have a video on how to navigate TAS because the first time I got on TAS, it was a bit daunting because they have courses on there, they have resources. I have a few resources on there that I sell for my side hustle. So yes, you can. There's so many things on TAS. So if you need like a tailored, this is how I want to navigate it. There's a video on my channel where it talks about 5 websites for you to know if you want to teach abroad, and I break down Search Associate, Teach Away, TES, how to navigate it, gov.com. Just have a wander around and you'll see that video there, and it will help you at least to start the basics, and then you can then play around and then tailor it to what you need.
Yes, yes. Search Associates is actually a very good one
Oh, I
for
love that one.
American school. Like, but it's paid, it's not free.
Yes, I prefer
As
Teach
well,
Away instead of Search Associate. Yeah.
ISS is another good one you can explore.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes. Oh,
opportunities.
yes.
Or you want to be looking out for the application window. That's another thing a lot of people are not aware of. The
Yeah.
recruitment window, once you miss
Mm.
that, you might have to wait
Till
till the next.
another year.
Till October.
Just
Yeah.
be mindful
It
of that.
starts in October. Recruitment window starts in October. So the teachers who are going to start teaching in September 2024 were hired they started hiring in October
Last year.
2023. And I tell, like, people on my WhatsApp, I keep telling them, recruitment window is almost closing. Let's try and get all the chickens in before before the window closes. So it's from October, like the school year, up till June. By July, any school hiring you, please run, because those schools, I mean, there's a story. There's a story. A school is hiring you end of July, when schools are supposed to know who's coming, what class, and all the logistics done. Think
Chances
twice.
are you won't want to be there for more than a year.
No. I've been in a school like that. Oh my God. I had to stay till the end of the year because I don't want to spoil my reference. And I had to be good. So my Oscar Award acting skills were out of this world. But will I advise anybody to go to that school again? No.
Okay, someone is asking for suggestions. He says he's currently in the UK. No, 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 not that one. He's currently a student at Aston University and trying to get
Oh,
teaching assistant job, which has been daunting. Please, can you recommend agencies in Birmingham? I would say,
Birmingham. Yeah, in my neck of the woods. I'm a Worcester girl. Yeah.
I
Okay.
knew you were going to say that.
Yes, I tell people, do you know what? Do you know AAU, Sunderland, Worcester. I
Yeah.
fly the flags. I've always told people, Worcester, Sunderland, EKP. So yeah, agencies in the area, Bridge Education is very good. There's also, you know, just send an email and we'll leave it at the end of this live. We'll leave all the links, as many links as possible as we can leave on this live, and then you can still send an email to diaspora.doodler@gmail.com and we'll still answer some of your questions. You can email Omomi. Omomi has got her YouTube channel as well. Oyi has got her YouTube channel. How she's even all around her beauty in the profession of teaching.
Yeah.
Hallelujah to the Lord.
Yeah. Teaching has
Oh
to
yeah,
be made
so
attractive. Gone are the days when
we don't
I don't
slack.
want to be a teacher. You can be a teacher and still be looking all fly.
Oyi, I have a
Yes,
suggestion for your next video. You will be making me up and Omomi, and we'll be talking about teaching. At the
oh
seats, the
yeah,
next
that
live.
would be so nice. That would be
So we
amazing.
show them. Do you
Amazing.
know? Part of the reason why I didn't want to be a teacher, do you know? I looked at all my teachers growing up, and I was like, I don't want to be like that,
No,
crusty and old.
no, not me.
No. So we try to,
When they posted me to school during NYSC, I went to the principal. I was like, "Here my form. Please reject me. I don't want to be a teacher." He was trying to give me 1,000,001 reasons. I'm like, "Sir, I do not want to teach. Reject me, please."
I wish, do you know what? I wish they had posted me to a school. I wish they had posted me to a school when I was in my NYSC. They posted me to a teaching hospital. I enjoyed it, but if I knew I was going to end up in teaching, I would have started teaching since
Yeah.
NYSC. I was in a hospital. In fact, I was already seeing myself with my stethoscope, prescribing.
Yeah, stethoscoping it in the classroom.
Yeah, my chickens. I call them my chickens. They'll be like, Miss, have you learned how to cook? Not yet. Anyway, yes. So next question.
What do I need to submit for QTS? Is it my TRCN certificate or license?
You need both.
Yes.
You need your TRCN certificate. You need your license. Some people don't know. They only believe if you have your TRCN certificate, you are good to go. But you need these two. If you submit your TRCN certificate without your license, TRCN, they don't recognize you as a licensed teacher. They only recognize you as someone that has gone through 4-year degree course and gotten the TRCN certificate. Because in some universities now, like Obafemi Awolowo University, now they do like an induction for the teachers.
I'm jealous.
Now they do induction for the teachers just like doctors. So when they graduate, they do induction for them before their graduation ceremony. They wear the gown. I also did mine with the set they started with. Then I was doing my master's degree then. So they do that. But after you have gotten your TRCN certificate, then you now apply for your. It's just like getting a degree course here in the UK. Then you apply for QTS, just like the PGC alone and then PGC with QTS.
Yes.
So it's similar. So then you apply for your license. That is when you are a licensed teacher. So you need to submit both. You need your medium of English proficiency. You need your certificate with transcripts. So if you have all the certificates, for mine, I submitted my degree and I submitted my master's degree also with the transcript. So those are the things you need, and then you can now apply for the letter of professional standing from TRA.
Okay, we're going to try to breeze through the questions faster.
Okay.
Someone asked the question I feel has already been answered. He said, I'm currently in the UK. Which of the routes would you advise I use since I have teaching qualification? I currently work at an agency for cover supervisor, but they aren't giving me any positive. I think we've answered that.
You answered that, yeah.
Go by the horn and do it yourself. I have TRCN. Do I still need QTS?
Yes, you need QTS, but with TRCN alone, you can go into teaching. Here in the UK, you can teach for 4 years as a non-qualified teacher. but you definitely need QTS. Unqualified teacher and the qualified teacher salary is like
But
the gap
thing.
is wide.
Yes.
So you would need
Can I say something?
yes, please.
If if you don't want to do QTS, you see UK, they like their shakara is plenty. Just come outside. Your TRCN is even too much. Come to international school teaching. Let's treat you like a princess that you are. This
Yeah, like she said,
QTS wahala
independent
is
faith schools. I don't think you require.
Yes.
So that's
is
something
it
other
free?
people should start exploring. Like rather than apply to their the normal public schools in the UK, consider applying to faith
Yes.
schools and
Yes.
independent schools because
Yes.
their requirement is a bit more relaxed.
Mm-hmm.
Come to international school, which is also known as
We
independent.
are coming.
Ajala.
Coming.
You think it's everybody has the spirit of Ajala in
Yes,
some
so yes. So.
yeah, but it's actually worth it. I
But,
know.
but for me, I would like to explore the independent school. I'm going into that.
Mommy, I've been begging you. Leave all these
I'm
behavior
coming.
management people.
Independent school it is.
The thing about independent schools, most of the children there, their parents already have companies for them. Those children know what they're doing after secondary school. I'm not talking about university. They have companies. They've opened companies for them. They have businesses in their names even before they were born. So the parents will even help you because the parents want these children to take over the business. Number one. Number two, you see those teacher appreciation days. Do you know the gifts? I said, teachers' reward is on here, is here on earth. Sometimes they might just come because they want you to give their children good grades, they will just come and just bless you with something. Come to
Yeah,
independent schools.
and behavioral management, I believe, will be less
It's
challenging
better.
than it is
Yes.
with
Yeah. Yeah.
regular schools here. So
Yeah.
someone
Because
said, yeah,
the
finish
children
before I.
know why they're there. The children know why they're there. They know that there's a future waiting for them. They're not thinking, what will I be? No. They know what they will be. So their goal is to get to what they will be. So they're not thinking of disrupting your class. No. They're thinking of how you will open their brains so that they can achieve that goal. They might be a little bit blindsided because maybe the person's business is in Formula One. Maybe they have a business with Formula One, and so they want to do physics and maths. But you are trying to get them to write a prose or 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 something, and they're like, no, we don't want to learn how to write prose. No, we don't need that. We want to learn the physics of machines and all those kind of things. So you won't have problem with all those children. Even if you tell the parents, your Ahmed didn't answer my question today in class. They will say, Ahmed, yeah, man, what is wrong with you? The mother will help you caution the child. So yeah,
So what about a person that studied political science education?
humanities. You'll be a
Humanities.
humanities teacher. Look for humanities because they teach geography and history in humanities, and in geography
Yeah.
and physics they talk about how the government of the country affects the economics of the country, and it affects the population of the country and the regions in which the people are. So it's like a mishmash of so many different subjects that we teach as standalone subjects in Nigeria. Geography is a huge curriculum for the US, the UK, Australia, because yeah, they jam pack it with what we call economics is in geography. What we call civics is in geography. What we call
Social
economics is in
studies.
their geography. Exactly. So just go for humanities. Anyway, you
Yeah,
see humanities teachers needed, apply.
I'll also advise like anyone looking to come to teaching in the UK, find time to go through the curriculum. The curriculum is there on the gov.uk website.
Yeah.
Because I also made that mistake. Coming from an American school, I realized that there are differences with same age group, but content differs. So you
Yeah.
need to be conversant with that curriculum. It's not enough to say, oh, I want to come here, come teach. But do you understand? In Nigeria, we say we use UK curriculum, but I'm sorry to bust your bubble. A lot,
You don't.
a lot different. It's not the
Yeah.
same thing at all. So you might want to sit down and go through the curriculum so you understand what she means by humanities and see how these different subjects are integrated into one. Yeah, so I
Comment
have
down below if you want us to do, sorry, comment down below if you want us to do another live on curriculum next Saturday, because we can do that. Omaomi is very good with the UK curriculum. I know the UK curriculum too, but I will take the IB and the IPC because I'm an international school teacher, and Oyin can do the American curriculum. So that way we have it covered. I can also touch on the Australian one because I saw today. I'm really like Jalasha. But yes, comment down below if you want us to do a Q&A on curriculum, and we can do that. We'll talk about each curriculum and we'll do a breakdown, the key stages, how it links together. Because I know someone asked me privately, I teach IB, what other curriculum can I teach? Because I don't know where to go. If you teach the IB, you can teach American and British. You can teach the IPC because yeah, the IB is my bread and butter.
okay. I have a degree. I think we are okay. I have a degree in economics education. I have taught in nursery primary schools in Nigeria. I am in Scotland now. What is the best way to gain teaching experience in Scotland? Get into the classroom, volunteer, do TA roles, do support teacher roles, do cover teacher roles. Just get yourself in there. Look for agencies. If you don't find agencies, volunteer.
I have a friend in Scotland that's gotten my license to teach in Scotland, but because for Scotland and Northern Ireland, they don't use QTS. It's only Wales and England that
No.
uses QTS. So their own is even more easier. She came in, I think, 2 years ago also, and she has even gotten a license faster than we are still on the QTS route. So, and she
Yeah.
started with agency being supplied as into nursery. Now she's a nursery teacher. Yes, licensed nursery teacher in Scotland. So you can also go into deeply into getting information about how you can go into. You can start with supply, like Onya has said. Get an agency that can supply you to school, into primary schools, whereby you can get the experience in the classroom, and then you can work your way about getting your license in Scotland.
Are there visa sponsorship in teaching assistant jobs in the UK? What's the difference between teaching assistant and supply teacher? What do you advise one should start with? Prior to now, I would say there are no visa sponsorship TA rules, but
Yeah.
surprisingly, was it a few days ago? I found one on
We
the
had
gov.uk
someone.
website. Yes,
Really?
Yeah.
yes, I found one on the gov.uk website, and then I found another one yesterday. So
Wow.
yes, I think that's a possibility. So you need to use that gov.uk website, put in teaching assistant,
Well.
and put in with
Mm.
visa sponsorship. It might not be as much as the teaching
Teaching
role.
jobs. Yeah.
Yes, but yes, I think it's a possibility. And she said,
I've
"What's the
actually
difference?"
helped.
And it's not the
I've
same
actually
as
helped.
supply.
Yeah,
It's
I've
not the
actually
same as
helped three
supply
people.
teachers.
I've actually helped three people get teaching assistant sponsorship. The schools didn't have
Wow.
sponsorship, but they did good. They did it. Look, you have to go in and you have to impress them, and you have to show them
Mhm.
I can do this work. So when you go in and they like you, they will get sponsorship. COS. It's not hard. It's not expensive either, but they don't know
Yeah.
about it. So sometimes you have to guide them. You have to guide them, but you can't guide them and then you are someone that does not, they're not impressed with your work. You have to impress them and do a good job. Sometimes you have to show them that I'm a TA, but I can teach. So they'll give you a group of children to teach, especially children who are struggling.
Yeah.
They're not meeting their outcomes, and you are able to gather 3 or 4. Look, if you are a TA, you don't even need to do PGCE with QTS. As a TA, if you have enough experience in as a teaching assistant, you can tell Sunderland. Sunderland will come, they will give you QTS. They will look at the way you are with just those 5 children that you are teaching, and they will give you QTS. And with your QTS, you are a teacher. you have to put in the hard work yourself. That's the thing about teaching. It's a skilled profession, so they want to see your skill. And once they see your skill, yes, you've convinced them and you're in. A teaching assistant,
Yeah.
the difference between a teaching assistant and a supply teacher is that a teaching assistant supports in the classroom, a supply teacher covers for a teacher. So a teaching assistant is someone who will always be in a support role. You're going to be helping. As the teacher is going ahead, you are the one mopping up the children and making sure that they meet. You're going to be helping with the displays. You're going to be helping to sort the classroom. You're going to be helping with little groups of children who are not meeting up with their outcomes. You're going to be helping. Maybe you do break duties. Maybe sometimes you might do the lunch duties. There are 8 jobs that teachers begged that they don't want to do, so supply teachers will do it, and it's because it's just a tasking role. Teachers are already overwhelmed, so teaching assistants do that. But a supply teacher will not come and do a teaching assistant job. For example, Mom is a supply teacher. When a teacher rings in the morning and says, I'm sick, I can't come into school today, I have a cold, or I have a doctor's appointment, or I have a tummy ache or something, Mommy will not go in and be a teaching assistant. She will go in and do the job of the teacher because she has the license to teach. So that's the difference between a supply teacher, like a substitute teacher.
Okay. Someone is asking if this live is going to be available for him to watch after. And yes, it's going to
Absolutely.
be on YouTube, so you can always go back to watch it.
And someone said, "What's CPD that you mentioned, please?"
Continuous
So
professional development, that's CPD. There are courses you take just to, equip you with more skills to meet up with the standards and best practices in teaching. Yeah. So as teachers, you're expected to train regularly, constantly. It's not like in Nigeria where maybe you have your bachelor's degree 4 years ago, and since your bachelor's degree till now, you haven't done anything. Part of the
Anything, yeah.
requirement is that you need to stay up to date, because here things are evolving constantly. So you need to be in touch with everything that is happening. Yes, so those CPDs, if you identify an area where you think you need to work on yourself, you do a CPD. If you identify a new development you're not aware of, like things like safeguarding is a big deal here. If you're teaching in the UK, every year you're expected to take a course in safeguarding. Yes, so
every
you
year.
have to renew it every single year. If not, nobody's putting you in the classroom.
No.
So it's basically professional development courses you do to equip you with the skills you need to thrive as a teacher.
I think in Australia it's every 6 months. Their safeguarding is every 6 months or so. In Europe, there's GDPR. That is, you know how in Nigeria you will see a teacher will take a picture with a child that is not his own and put on his own Facebook profile or his WhatsApp profile.
Hmm.
Here, no. So you're constantly being trained on GDPR, 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 and it's all over Europe where you have to get consent. So, for instance, when I was doing my research for a course I did recently, I had to show that I had asked for permission to work on one child. It was just one child, but I had to show proof that I had explained what I was using the course for, what I was using the research for, how the child is going to be affected by that course, if the child is not going to be affected by that course. And the parents had to sign. I had to remind them again a week before the research started. GDPR is something that do you guys do health and safety? Do you guys do health and safety
I do,
CPD?
but it's not mandatory, but I do it.
Requirement.
Yeah, it's not a requirement.
Okay, that's one thing. International schools is compulsory. You have to do health and safety. You have to do health and safety a lot because international schools, our schools are well stocked. We have serious we have tennis courts, we have this, we have that, swimming pools. So you have to do health and safety. You have to do health. It's compulsory because you might be You might be watching children at the swimming pool, and that means my CPD was swimming because I had to go and learn how to swim. I said in Africa we don't swim. Oh. They said you have to go and learn how to swim. So my CPD was swimming. So just like Oyin said, it's a part of your training that covers what they didn't teach you during your PGCE or your teacher training course.
So I think I have a question here.
This one said, I'm a degree holder in economics education. Can I teach as a mathematics teacher in Scotland? You can, but it's the way you package yourself. I did microbiology. I'm a computing and maths teacher today. So I had to show them, you have to sort of bring their face to that part of your microbiology. I had to bring their face to, look, in microbiology, we do statistics, we do a standard deviation to count how many microbes are in a sample of stool or all those kind of things. I had to show them that maths is something that I've done and I'm very conversant with it. Also, while I was in the school, before I applied for this maths job, I had to show what I was doing with maths in my school. So in my current school, before I applied for that maths role, I was the one in charge of maths planning. So it showed that, oh, I'm planning maths for my whole year group, so I can fit into this maths role, even though I'm not a maths graduate. I also had to show that I had at least a C in my WAEC, my maths in WAEC, to show that, okay, I have maths from secondary school. I've done a bit of maths in my microbiology. I'm now in this school and I'm the one in charge of maths planning. So therefore, I'm applying for this maths role based on all these things in my past that has to do with maths. So pick out everything you've done in maths, in economics, which will be easy for you because economics is just so full of maths. Hi. And you'll be able to, and then add some CPDs and sell yourself.
Yeah, I'll want to say that I think with international schools, there's a little bit more flexibility than with here. So yeah, just bear that in mind. Yes, bear that in mind. Um, I have a I'm a PhD student. Oh dear. And I need teaching assistant job. Just join in. Can you advise?
PhD students, teaching assistant. Why do you want to do teaching assistant? Why don't you do graduate assistant?
Assistant, yeah.
Yes.
I would go for a graduate assistant job, because if you go for graduate assistant job, it means that the next step for you is that
Lecturing.
you'll be someone that is lecturing in a
Mm.
classroom or in a lecture theater, or go for college students. College students, you will enjoy them. Their behavior, you will not even think about behavior because they are there to study. You see, you've left
Yeah.
the market of GCSE and IGCSE. Yeah. So I love my year 12s. They are very, very, they come in, they will even remind me about one assignment that I gave them the week before. They don't do it in, in key stage 3 or key stage 4. They even
Yeah.
want you to forget. They want you to forget. They are like, please don't even think about it. So please go for graduate assistant just because your PhD is precious to me. Please go to where they will not give you gray hair. This week I'm
So
wearing coming my gray hair, if not receipt.
someone has, I studied biology in Nigeria and also on the process for QTS. How many years experience on my TRCN before requesting for QTS? On your TRCN or your license is two different things now. Like for me, I got my TRCN in 2016 and I got my license like years after. So you need to get your license, like I said, and you need to have 9 months experience full time, 40 hours a week. Now, if it's part time, probably you're a part time teacher in your school, then you have to calculate it.
Sorry, I'm laughing. I'm reading a comment.
Okay.
So I
I
can
was
see the
wondering.
comment you are reading. Stop. I know the comment comments you are reading. Stop. Yes, mommy, continue.
Forgive me.
Okay.
Behavior management class. Well, I'm not looking at
Mm.
your secondary.
So you need 9 months experience, full time, 40 hours a week before you can apply for QTS. But if you're a part-time teacher, just calculate it. It just have to be 40 hours for 9 months experience.
Okay.
I think we left someone. Someone said, can someone on a visiting visa also apply for teaching supply for supply teaching
No,
jobs in the UK?
no.
No, sweetie, you cannot. They take this there because they can't tax you on a visiting visa. That's just the
Yeah.
simple truth.
No agency will even we even accept you. You need a
They
work
can't
visa. You
tax
need
you.
you need your share code.
Yes, that share code
Yeah.
very serious now.
Yeah,
So
very, very
yes,
serious. When your
you
visa is
can
even
talk to
about
the
a month to expire, your agency will start sending you email to send your new share code.
share code. Yeah, you can talk to the agency. You can, if you want a one-to-one to them when you're on your visiting visa, you can talk to them. You can walk
Except you want
around
to
the
volunteer.
area.
Maybe the person is actually talking about volunteering. I think you can volunteer on visiting.
Oh yes, you
If you
can.
are
You
not
can
being paid, yes,
volunteer.
you can volunteer.
You
Yes.
can volunteer. You see, this is how we get the British experience of volunteering.
We're
You
going to
can
take
look at it.
two more questions. Sorry, I didn't
Just
know you were
two. Oh yeah.
more questions. This is it's been over
Okay.
an hour, 30 minutes.
But the
Yes?
questions are coming now.
Okay. I want to read this one that made me laugh.
Okay.
Okay, I know it.
She said, I am a teacher. Okay. Good evening. I am a teacher in South America. I just got a teaching job in UK. Can I survive with my Yoruba English accent from Nigeria? I'm scared.
You will survive.
When I saw I laughed,
Look,
I'm like, "Oh, why not?"
look.
You will
Even
survive.
me,
And what?
they
Okay.
laugh at me. Even me, they laugh at me. Miss, what did you say? I'm like, if you
Exactly.
calm down and stop brushing your hair, or if you stop thinking about the hot you think I'm coming from, then you will hear me because I'm very, very clear. So yes, you can. They will still laugh. Look, they will laugh at you no matter what because children are children. And
Yeah.
try and think about when you were in a secondary school yourself. Remember, we used to laugh at some teachers with a Benusoke shoe, those kind of things. Remember when you were a child? They will still laugh at you. You will ignore them or you will laugh with them. If they laugh at you, you too, you look at the shoe and laugh. I think Oya and I were talking about it. Oh, that video has not come out. They asked me to cover a class, cooking class. I went there. They say it's risotto. I say risotto. Amy Omo, risotto show. Please. We finished cooking. I almost burnt down the building. Till today, they still laugh at me. Miss. It's like, have you learned how to cook? I said no. Next time, they should tell me to cook amala. We cook amala and we show them how to cook the amala. So they will laugh at you. You just have to make sure you don't take yourself too seriously because these children will give you gray
Yeah.
hair if you take yourself too seriously. They will laugh at you. Think about when you were at school. Think about when you were in secondary school. Which teacher did you like the most? The one that laughed with you or the one that will give you detention just because you breathe in the classroom? You'll be fine.
Yeah.
Why are you leaving Latin America? Please don't leave Latin America. I was there. I enjoyed it. What are you coming to do in the UK?
I am a chemistry education teacher, I guess. I have 2 years experience as a teacher from Nigeria. I'm currently in the UK. How can I look for a job that sponsors? And I have applied for my QTS. Please help.
Please join if you still have time. Join supply teaching. That is just what we'll be saying. Join supply as a chemistry teacher. Chemistry, you are hot cake because in the
What?
UK it is called science. Like I say I'm a science teacher, even though my specialization is biology. So I teach biology, I teach chemistry, I do chemistry practicals, I teach physics. So imagine if they now have someone that the discipline is chemistry. They will still hug you more than they will hug me for chemistry.
Yes,
You
so
get so go yeah.
yes.
So go into supply teaching if you still have enough time. Go into supply teaching. That is just what we've been saying. Get into these schools. If you can register with 2 or 3 agencies that can give you like, if you have the time frame, like if you can work full time like I do, go into different schools this every day of the week. Go into these schools, you will get a school. I've worked with a school that they have visa sponsorship, and in fact, they are bringing people in from other countries. So going to these schools, you will know. And it was when I was applied to that school that I knew, oh, this school actually has visa sponsorship. So if you were in my shoe, what will you do? You will apply straight, and they need science teachers. So you apply, and if you qualify, they know you're already there. You've taught there. They know your capability. Oh, this man has been good. He has been teaching well. They will employ you straight.
If
Can a
you don't want
person
to
with
go through supply, you don't want to go through supply agency, just volunteer in 4 different schools. The minute you come in and say, I want to volunteer, what is your specialty specialism? Chemistry. I
Let
don't
me
want to do
see.
too much. I just want to do 10 minutes a day. You see the head teacher will come out and shake you and roll out red carpet for you. And you want to come and volunteer when they are using 10 eyes to, because you don't have enough time, go to volunteer in 5 different schools. You see, you've opened yourself to 5. Before supply agency will fill the form and do big, 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 you've already seen 5 schools. They will take you, they will beg you, they will ask you, what do you want? Coffee, tea, COS for 10 years? Oh, we can't give you 10 years, we can give you 5 years. Free lunch.
Yeah, free lunch. Jay, you are enjoying.
Can a person with BSc in biology and over 6 years teaching experience, but without license or PGCE, get a teaching assistant job in the UK? Even without a
Yes.
teaching background,
Even
you can,
without, yeah,
yeah,
you
you
can.
can get teaching assistant role as long as you have a BSc in any field, you qualify for
Even
teaching
if you
assistant.
don't have a BSc, you can get a teaching. Even this year, their minimum requirement for teaching assistants here
A
is
level.
GCSE. Yes, even GCSE you get.
A
You get
level.
then you
I
can
was
do
surprised they
probably
got this.
then you can do probably level 3 teachers training just to be like a higher level teaching assistant. You can just do level 3 teachers training, and that's it.
Yes. Or you
I'm
can
a
do the level 5. If you do the level 5, you'll be a teacher in the
Yeah,
classroom and
yes,
they'll
you
be
can
paying
be
you
a tutor
teacher's
in the
rates.
college with level 5. Yeah.
I'm a Spanish
31K a year. Sorry, Oyin.
You sure have to stress the money. Eh?
Yes, well,
You have
look,
to stress the money.
I have to stress the money. I'm
International
an
teacher,
AAU graduate. We know where the
international teacher. You people like money.
we do.
You like money, you like benefits, rest and recreation, all those small, small here and there, here and there. Eh?
Say it
Free, free,
again, sister.
free
Rest and
something.
recreation.
Free something here and there.
Have you seen somebody that they will put? Have you seen somebody that they will put sugar in their mouth and they will say, "Too, it's not sweet. I don't like. It's too sweet. I don't like it." No, you people should come to international teaching.
Flight tickets here and there, beginning and end of term. And you're flexing. We know we'll join you soon. Sorry.
Please come.
I'm a Spanish language immersion teacher and need a job.
You will get a job.
Where are you?
Just follow the
Come
right path.
to my school.
Teachers.
Come to my school. Who is the person? Let me see. The
Gloria
person.
Baza
Come.
Basin.
What are you
I hope
waiting
I'm
for?
saying the name right.
MFL teachers are hot cake right now. They're looking for teachers. UK, US. Even Spain is looking for Spanish teachers.
Someone is asking about what they can do to have an attractive CV for independent schools as a primary school teacher.
Jay, over to
send me
you.
an send me an email. Let's put it through. We'll show you the way. See,
Okay,
international
someone is
schools
saying
don't
which is
they don't need
okay. You can
much.
okay.
International schools, we don't need all this bang 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 QTS and the rest. We like, you have a degree, come. You have TRCN and come. You have PGCE, no QTS. And come, please, the door is open. Like what? Okay.
Yeah, mommy, go ahead.
Okay, someone is saying which is more demanding teaching in special schools or non-special schools? With the name, you should know.
It's more demanding, obviously.
Yeah.
It's more demanding. So you have to
But
be extra patient.
Yeah.
But I like SCN schools though. They don't want you to teach them big physics, chemistry, math. You see, you might have a 16-year-old and you're teaching the person primary 3 work.
Mm. Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Where's Daddy?
So,
Where's
who's
Daddy?
that?
Where's Daddy?
Let's see her face. Bring. Hello, darling.
That is not on our life.
You say, where is daddy? That I am spending 1 hour 45 minutes.
Left opportunity to just show her face.
Hello. Let me see if it will work.
Yes.
Okay, go on.
EYFS teachers in the house. Okay.
Yes, you can.
Someone said I'm a maths teacher, but I minor in physics. I love physics than maths, but my QCS is in mathematics. Darling, when I'm maths, physics, please come. Look. Someone just got a bursary, 30K. We just filled the form last week, and he's already on he's already counting the days when he will leave Nigeria. Please come. Come, Biko.
Good evening. I studied biology in Nigeria and also on process for QTS. How many years experience on my TRCN before requesting for QTS?
I think I've answered that.
Okay. What is letter of professional standing and what body is TRA?
Okay, letter of professional standing is a letter that you are a licensed teacher from your country, that you're recognized as a licensed teacher from your country. Now in Nigeria, that letter is being issued by TRCN, TRCN, Teachers Regulation Council of Nigeria. For the Ghanaians, they have their own. For Indians, they have their own. So, but for Nigeria, it is TRCN that we issue the certificate and send it to TRA, which is Teaching Regulation Agency in the UK. For Wales, because Wales is also using QTS, their own is ECW that would receive the letter of professional standing.
Okay, I am an early years teacher. I wonder if Australia needs these teachers and what the path to apply for a position is, and what would be the cheapest and fastest country to apply. Everything is also about money.
See, I worked in Australia. Let me give you a small tip about Australia. If you do not have, if you have NTI, don't apply. They will not take it. If you have the Australian government has done it in such a way that sometimes even with QTS, they will not take you because you have to have spent, I think there's a number of hours that your PGCE should have covered where you are in the classroom. It's equivalent to almost doing the PGCE as full-time PGCE. If you did an online PGCE, it's going to be hard. If you did an online American certification, it's going to be hard. Make sure that there's a list of universities where Australia will take from outside Australia. So for most people, you can find a job in Australia. They have them on TES and the rest, but just have it at the back of your mind that you have to do some courses to upgrade because they always see look, they always, even me with PGCE, I had to do a 9-month course before I was able to teach in Australia. Children are their future, especially early years. So they put a lot of emphasis into it. But you can find a job. Don't look where there's a will, there's a way. And if I could crack it, you can crack it.
Okay, how long does it take to get the TRCN license after applying for it?
It depends. There's a fast track method. Everything in Nigeria is either you have, even in the UK, not in Nigeria alone, is either like in UK it's called priority. So there's the priority method way whereby you pay more and then you can get it, I think, a week or two.
Yes.
Can one have two
It's just
kids?
the English.
I applied, but it's taking too long for them to provide it. I also learned that there is one from Wales that comes within 21 days. I think Omomi has a video on that.
Yeah.
Yes.
What CPD that you mentioned, please?
I think Oyin has answered that.
I have a computer science degree and PGDE. Do I have chances of being recruited?
Yes. It depends on where you want to go. Computer science, they will take you. If you have all the requirements, if you're coming to the UK, if you have your TRCN or you're working towards your QTS or something, they will take you. If you decide to go to the Middle East, you don't need all those, they will take you. And just first choose where you want to go because the requirements for each region is different.
What CPD can I do to have an attractive CV for independent schools as a primary school teacher?
Safeguarding, GDPR, there's safeguarding for international schools. It's not just safeguarding for normal schools. If you come with the safeguarding for schools in the UK, they might not take you because international schools run on a different frequency. For example, in the UK, I'll give you just one example. In the UK, if you just do your safeguarding, you are in a school, you have your DSL, that's the person who is in charge of any safeguarding issue at your school. And that's it. The person will pass it on to the council will take it up, and there's a system already in place to make sure that that child is being top priority. Child protection is top priority for that child. I'll use Egypt as an example. In Egypt, let me use Spain. Spain is in Europe. Let's not use Egypt. Spain is in Europe. Their child protection laws, they just started child protection on the 2nd of June 2021 in the same Europe. So you come to Spain, you say, okay, if I see an issue in the classroom and I just tell my DSL and the DSL will tell the local council, the local councils are not that involved yet, just like it is in the UK. So you have to do child protection for international schools because there's a system that they bypass the local council and some laws in the government to safeguard children. So that's one. GDPR is something that you need in Europe, but you don't need in the Middle East. You don't need it in Asia because, again, their systems are not that evolved. So you can be doing GDPR from today to tomorrow. It does. They would like it for you to have it, but they don't know how to use it because they don't have their systems in place. So do GDPR, do safeguarding, do child protection for international schools, do health and safety because we have a lot of health and safety issues in international schools because of all the equipment and all the facilities that we have. And then that's it. Then you do something that's related to your subject and you'll be fine. The school always disregards all that. Anyway, they will start doing fresh ones for you. But it's always good to have it so that they can see that you are teachable. A teacher is supposed to be a continuous learner. So by having all those CPDs on your CV, you are showing them that okay, you are not too old to learn. You can still learn, and they will take you, and then they'll start giving you theirs because each school is different because of the region that you're in.
Okay. Someone is saying she has a master's in special education, but her first degree was in accounting. I'm guessing she's wondering how she can fit in.
A master's is an academic
Okay.
qualification. It's not a professional qualification. I always try to tell people, if an agent is trying to convince you to go and do masters in education, tell the agent, I know the difference between a professional qualification and an academic qualification. Unfortunately, you are not licensed to teach with your masters if you don't have because you didn't say if you have a teaching qualification. I'm assuming you don't have a teaching qualification. So all they will look at is your BSc. So with your bachelor's in degree, you are not qualified to teach. You can be a teaching assistant and then get your teaching qualification from there. Your master's is academic. If you go to Norway and some other countries in Europe, yes, that's fine. If you go to the US, they can start you on a level, but you have to get your license, your K-12 license, before the end of your first year there, or else you'll be sent back to your home country and you have to write your exam. So just try and get the
Also,
license before you.
yeah, if you can do the NTI, I think NTI is the quickest PGCE program any Nigerian can do. And then the
Yeah.
fact that it's very flexible, you don't have to, stop your life to be able to do it. It's weekends you have your classes. So having that PGCE, you just need that teacher training element. Like it's your masters doesn't have all the courses. If you do a course by course evaluation, someone who did a PGDE has more content in their what's it called? What do they call this thing? Transcripts than you do.
because
Like they
because
regarded,
because it's not a teaching qualification, it's an
yeah, it's
academic.
not hands-on. I think that's the word I've been looking for. It's not hands-on. It doesn't give you the practical experience you need as a teacher. The masters is more like you're reviewing people's articles and all that. So it's not the same.
Yes.
So if you would spare that, and NTI doesn't even take up to a year before you're done. Only Saturdays you have to go for. You don't even have to go for lectures every Saturday. Just clock in and write
Yeah.
your exam. Yeah. So
It also depends. It also depends. If you want to go to Australia, don't do NTI. No,
okay.
they won't take it. Unfortunately, they don't regard NTI. They don't regard grade two. There's a list
Do
which
they
I'll
really
link.
need? Because I know even with the Teach Now program in the US
Hmm.
wasn't still regarded. So I kind of feel Australia has their own. It's like they're in a world of their own. They have their thing.
Yes.
For my QTS, I didn't go through all these routes, the traditional routes that most people actually do go through. I did
Yes.
my teacher certification program with a school in the US for 9 months. And I was able to use that to just get my QTS emailed to me like that.
Yeah.
So I
I
I
dusted my I dusted my PGC with QTS and thought, I now have PGC with QTS. I'm going to Australia. They told me no, that I think they needed 300 hours of a particular practical, and I didn't have it. I had 280. I was like, so because of 2 hours, yeah, they won't take it because of that. So I had to go and do the whole course, the whole 300 hours all over again as a standalone course in a sort of teacher training. It was obscene, but I was stubborn because I didn't like people telling me no. So the minute they told me no, you cannot do this, I decided that's the one I'm going to do, so that I will now go and send it to them and see if that was the reason, or if it was something else that they were looking at that they didn't want to employ me. But they employed me in the end when I had my 300 hours of that practicum. So Australia is a little bit fussy when it comes to qualifications. So don't do grade two if you know that you want to be a worldwide teacher and Ajala like me. Just do your PGC or go and get your K to 12 inside the country, not online.
I have been on this for years. I have a TEFL and a master's in educational psychology from Nigeria. I even applied for a PGCE in secondary education in UK, but for dependents, I couldn't proceed.
A TEFL is a teaching qualification for people whose first language is not English. You cannot come to a country where the first language is English and expect that you get a job. You will get a job. I'm not saying it's impossible, because the UK is a very cosmopolitan country, and chances are some schools will be there that will have a high number of maybe Polish children or Ukrainian children, because of displacements, children from Syria, Afghanistan, all those countries. However, if you want to base your whole career on that TEFL, my advice would be to go to countries that do not speak English. Countries like Costa Rica, Peru, Myanmar, Egypt. Those kind of countries, their first language is not English, so you'll be hot cake there. But you're coming to the UK with a TEFL, you can't teach in a school, because that's not a teaching qualification. It's a teaching English as a foreign language certificate. Then your master's is not a qualification. So you need to go and get the proper qualification. I think I have a video on my channel that talks about the difference between having a TEFL, a PGCE, a master's degree, and all of that, so that it will help you, so that you're not just jumping around doing whack-a-mole with different courses. Just be focused, be direct, and know exactly what you want to do, and get the correct qualifications, so that you're not spending money everywhere. Agents will convince you to do TEFL. Yes, I know, because I know how many have sent TEFL courses for me to add to my WhatsApp group, and I've refused. I said, no, they are all qualified teachers. Why do I need to? It's like taking them from university level work and you're taking them back to primary school work. Why tell the person to go and write WAEC exam when the person has a BSc? The person is qualified to teach. He doesn't need TEFL. So,
Can accounting graduate fly?
fly.
The graduate is what I'm seeing here, so I don't understand what that means.
Oh, does it count? That's what the person is probably asking. Accounting, you'll be in humanities, or go to colleges, go to FE. They don't do accounting in secondary school here. Key stage 3 and 4. Some schools do, but you cannot base your whole career on a handful of schools that do accounting. They do it as BTech anyway, and BTech is is classed as further education. So go to FE. There's a website, fe.com. FE jobs, sorry. If you go to FE jobs, you will get jobs there that will suit you, or else try and tailor yourself towards humanities.
Okay. How can I reach you? So
Our emails are all over our YouTube channels. Mine, I think there was a particular day I was responding to everybody, and I was putting my email there, because they kept asking the same question: how do I reach you? How do I reach you? And I kept saying, send me an email via diasporadodos@gmail.com. Mommy has the same thing on her channel. She has her email on her channel. So you send her an email. Same thing as Onyi. Send us emails, and we're here to help, because we need more people like us in the profession.
yeah, so when does the recruitment window close?
My advice, honestly, I try to get people to apply before Easter, because people who applied before Easter are the people that they are responding to now after Easter. So if you apply now, you might not hear anything from them until they finish with that batch. And by then, because you need visas, because you need so many things, it will be late. Recruitment season starts in October, and for me, it ends at Easter. However, you can stretch it till June. Any school trying to hire you in July is because they are desperate and nobody wants to go to them, because they've probably been advertising and people know them, or people have gone on ISR and they've seen that they're not the space to be. So if they're still hiring in July, everybody's giving them chance. Everybody's running away from them. But you can try just to start your international school career. but have it at the back of your mind that that's not where you're going to be. You're just using them to go to the next step. And so you tie your oja of patience. Your Bible will say, well, mommy suru when you walk there.
So with the US schools, they are already wrapping up for the school year at this point. So school ends in June. Unlike with the UK, Nigeria and UK run the same curriculum.
Yes.
At this point, at December, teachers are supposed to have declared that they are not returning. So by maybe March, recruitment is done. At this point, teachers are leaving know where they'll be next year, and those that are coming in already know where they are going to. So for the US, recruitment window is also closed. If you get a job, it will be for roles that either people turn down or schools that are not very,
You don't want to be there, basically.
most recruiters, most principals always want to start early. So I know by December, the head of school and the principal would always already start traveling to do their recruitment just because they want the best of the best. No principal wants to do that late recruitment too because they feel that teachers are still available at that point may not be the very best. And teachers also feel that schools that are not haven't recruited at that point may not be the very best. So now is not a good time to
Yeah, but for the UK, still, I can say their own is still open because there are still some vacancies online. Yeah, you can
yeah.
still hope until because their own year starts September, so you can still get till around June. Yeah,
Yeah.
May,
Most schools
June.
are interviewing already. A lot of schools
Yes,
are interviewing now
yeah,
already.
for
Yes,
September.
so,
So,
yeah, for September.
This morning I've been talking to different people on my WhatsApp group, people who have already gotten their contracts. They're showing their contracts to me, asking me if there's anything they need to ask, if there's anything they need to look out for. They're showing me the COS, asking me, Janet, is this so I've seen a lot of people getting their contracts already. So and that's because on my WhatsApp group I pushed most of them apply.
We lost Janet. Yeah, but a lot of schools are interviewing now, and some schools still have their roles displayed on the website.
yes, on the
If you still
website.
want to
Yeah.
apply, you can give it a go. What's the next question? I have an admission in University of Brighton to be awarded QTS, or should I go ahead and use my TRCN and certificate to apply straight? Since your degree is already going to give you the awards, I'll just say finish your program and get the QTS from the school. I have a B.Ed mathematics. I have TRCN and applied for QTS last year, but yet to get it. Can I get math teaching job in UK with just TRCN? I
Yes,
think
you can.
yes, you can answer. Go ahead.
Okay, yes, you can. You can get a teaching job with just TRCN. Yes, you can. You can teach. I've said it that you can teach in the UK for 4 years. That's if it's a government aided school for 4 years without QTS as an unqualified teacher.
Okay. How long does it take for the UK to award QTS to a person?
It depends on the route you are taking. Like the one I did, if you have a license, switching and all that. For England, it takes for some people, for Ghanaians, it's easier because they have like a portal whereby TRA, Teaching Regulation Agency, can check their license if it's valid or not. They don't need to pay to their own regulation agency. But for Nigerians, you have to pay 60,000 naira, and this whole process takes. So for people that have gotten theirs, it takes a year, even more than a year. But for that of Wales, it is very fast. I think the reason why that of Wales is fast, which is 3 weeks, 21 days, is because um, they will ask for NARIC. So your certificate is already compared. You have your certificate of comparability, and you have the English proficiency. But for England, you don't need NARIC. You just submit your certificate. So they will still have to go through and scrutinize. So I think that is why it's taking long. So it depends on the route. In short, the route you're taking. That's just it.
Okay, someone is advising people to use Open University over NTI. According to her, NTI is currently having issues with certificates and it's not getting ready since 2020. I think I had a friend who said that a while ago. I didn't think that it would linger onto this point because at some point when I got my NTI, they were issuing Usman Danfodio University certificate. They were affiliated to that school. But after a while, they switched it to Open University. So yeah. So according to her, Open University is a better school to use rather than NTI. So guys, just take note.
Someone is asking, why is Omowumi not a permanent teacher since she's a science teacher? We all know the reason why we are doing supply teaching. Supply teaching is flexible. So, and with supply teaching, since I'm not in a rush for probably sponsorship or for other things, I'm using this period of me doing supply to gain a lot of experience. Like I said, I might not even work in government aided school. With the experience I have now, I might decide to go into independent schools. So with supply, you can gather all the experience you want, and then
Yeah, I think that person is asking that question because like in Nigeria, there's really nothing like flexibility when it comes to jobs, right? You just have
yes.
to be on a job,
Mm,
right? If you are in the diaspora, you appreciate that flexibility, especially if you're someone who's still having kids, like you have little
yes.
ones
Mm-hmm.
and you have a spouse who's working full time.
Yeah.
Childcare here is not the same where you can just pay somebody a nanny to come and live with you or all that. It's not the same here. So sometimes you are at that point in your life where you need that flexibility. So people go for it. And at this point, I think that's where she is in her life. And yeah, it's a personal choice. So that there's
I
an
think,
option to either work full time or you want to work part time. Yeah.
Yeah.
which is the reason why I think if you are with a supply agency, they won't want to, because they know you've come to them because of that flexible life. So they will keep you there. If you want a permanent role, you have to do it yourself because their job there is to make, to tailor their career around people who want to do flexible roles. So
Yeah, even with the flexibility of roles, you can still get jobs where you work long term. Yes,
Yes,
long
like
term.
currently I'm on long term. Yeah,
That's the role she's on. She's on a lot. She's with a school, but she also wants to be able to regulate her own timing, I guess. Yeah. How can I get licensed from any state in the US as a qualified teacher from Nigeria? Oh yeah. So as at the time I got my
come
own
on,
license,
know you.
there were there were a few states that were issuing that license without the praxis exam. So, unlike UK, the exam you need to take in the US to be able to get your license is the praxis exam. That praxis exam, you need to write your principles of learning and teaching, which is a general exam, and then you write another exam in your own content area. So, if you're a chemistry teacher, LES teacher, whatever it is you teach, PLT content area exam. Now, when I got mine, I didn't have to do praxis, right? But with a lot of states now, practice the requirements. I spent my nights yesterday really researching states, and I've been able to find about 5 states, I think, where praxis is not a requirement. But before I give that out, I want to email them and be certain. I've sent those emails out. I'm waiting for responses. And once I get that, I'm going to do that video for states where you can get your license without writing the practice exam. But there are other institutions that afford people who do not have maybe a background in education. they call it, is it teacher transfer programs or something. So there's Teach Now, there's Teach Away, there are other, a lot of them you can also do. And at the end of that program, you're able to get the license. For Teach Now, I did Teach Now. With Teach Now, you're able to get license in 3 different states in the US, but then you still have to take the praxis exam. Now, can you write praxis in Nigeria? Before now, you could, but that center has been closed. So the closest place to Nigeria to write the praxis exam is in Ghana. So if you need to take that exam, you need to travel to Ghana to take the exam. But as far as certification with US, that is a summary.
Yeah, I did mine with Teachaway, and Teachaway has, they call it alternative teacher certification, and I think there's University of, there's so the states that you could do them with are Hawaii, Washington, Minnesota, um Texas, which is why I went to Texas. So, but you need to go on Teachaway, and you need to, teacher will tell you to email the university, choose the university you want to go to, email them. They will tell you what they need from you after doing the evaluation and all of that. But you still have to go to the US for 6 weeks at the end of your program, or else they will not issue you your license. So I had to go to the US to get my license from the US, even though I had done the certification from the comfort of my sitting room in Venezuela. So yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the difference between Teach Now and Teach Away then, because with Teach Now, you really don't have to write the
Yeah.
exam in the US. Yes.
No, mine, I had to sign an undertaking that I will, that if I don't come, they will not give me the certification. And I signed, I said, don't worry, I will come. Don't you don't have to ask me twice. So I went in for 6 weeks and I did the practicum. They will attach you to these, to a school in inside the US, to in the state where that is giving you the certification, and then you get your certification. And then I used that to look for a job as well. So it was a win-win for me at the time. So yeah, you can try that.
The person who asked about the, someone is saying, is it possible for someone with visitor's visa to get teaching job in UK? I think Omomi answered that already. It's not possible. I don't want to write any exams again now. With teaching, even if
Is the
you're not,
person in the right? Are you in the right profession? Yeah, a teacher. One of the first things we learn in our teacher training program is that a teacher is a continuous learner. That
lifelong
thing they used
learner,
to
it never stops. It never stops. It never stops.
tell you, how can you motivate children to learn if you are not a continuous learner? Oh my God. Do you know? But teacher training is not easy, shall. It's easy, but it's you have to put your mind to it. So you're a continuous learner.
I have
You
BEd.
have to continue learning.
Sorry, I
So
have
continue.
I have BEd in. Did you check the time? This is 9:17, guys.
Can we wrap up, please?
We take 2 more questions and wrap up. I have
Yeah.
some little ones to, to attend to.
I'm the only one here with big children, university level children. See me, I'm just sitting down chilling.
Enjoy it. You've paid your dues. We give you
I
your
haven't.
flowers. We give you your flowers. We'll take 2 more questions, and each of us will get to, have our final word, and then we'll call it a day. If you have any more questions, you can always drop it in either of our channels, and we'll respond. Either way,
Yeah.
if it's on Diaspora Doodles, I'll be there in the comment section. If it's on Omomi's
And I'll
channel,
be there.
either ways, we'll be there in all the comment sections. So it's
Oh, me,
fine.
I'm always the first on your channel. Have you noticed? It's like I'm waiting for it to drop. I'm waiting. Let me go and see what she's.
We're also going to try to drop as many links as possible in the description of this video. Is going to be available for you to watch as a recording. So we'll drop all the links as much as we can that will help you get the journey started.
And
Please,
guys, maybe we can do something next week. Maybe we can do a clinic, like Sunday tonic. What do you guys think? Oh, he's
Yeah.
smiling already.
Yes, you're
We should-
right. We can do like it can be another Sunday can be CV because a lot of people asked about CV. It can be like a CV clinic. Another Sunday can be
Yeah,
about classroom management. So
yeah.
yes, it can.
Curriculum. Yeah.
Oh, I'm saying
Guys,
Sunday. Today
don't
is
worry, we are
Saturday.
here for you. because we have seen a lot, and because of that, I mean, when we first started our channels, one of the things that three of us agreed on is that when we went online, when we were starting our journey, we were seeing things for people who did not have the unique problems. Let me not call it problem. The unique spices that we had. For example, the passport, the qualifications, the fact that they don't understand. So that's what binds us together. So we understand your questions, and I think we should try to do this maybe every Saturday or Sunday when I'm not on honeymoon.
Okay, so Omomi, would you like to drop your last word for the viewers? Let's just wrap it up and then we can respond to the rest of the questions
In the
in
comments
the
section.
comment
The
section.
comments, yeah.
Okay. Well, guys, what I would say is don't be limited. Yes, you can go far. When I came into this country, I thought the certificate I brought in was was not useful. Yes, that was what I had in mind, or what was in my head. But with the right connection to the right set of people, I got this information. That is why the three of us are here on this channel. That is our main motive to like tell people, okay, you can do this with your certificate and all that. So I just want to say, start. Don't. It's not a rush. Just start gradually, and you will get to where you're going.
Okay. I would say one thing that has really kept me, it's not been an easy journey. I'm one person that will always want to prepare your mind for what you will face so that it doesn't look like, oh, nobody told me. It's not an easy journey. When people tell their stories, it seems, it's a story, so you don't quite get it. But the thing is, it's a journey that if you embark on and you have your why, you need to know why you're doing this. When I came in initially, I told them diaspora doodles when I came into the UK, I had to take a break. Now, but one thing that really kept me going with putting myself into those classrooms was how I saw the immigrant kids respond to me. Every single day I walked into the schools I was working with at the time, I have kids run to me, black children, more like,
And
oh my
hold you.
goodness, they hug me and hold me so tight. And then I know that as immigrants, we have things we go through trying to adapt into a system. It just got me thinking, could it be that these kids also experience some of these things that adults experience?
Mm.
So yes, we need more people that look like us in the classroom. And what we're here to say is the journey might not be easy, but it's something that is doable. It's something that is doable. If you can put in, like, commit to it. At that times you feel like you question why you're doing what you're doing. Yes. But your why should be what will guide you. It's doable, it's very possible. And know that what you have from Nigeria, you are equipped with what you have.
Enough.
Don't let anybody tell you that you're less. You're able,
Yeah.
you have everything. Your Nigerian degree certification. Forget that you're not speaking British accent because that thing kind of lets a lot of us down. And then when you come to the diaspora, you begin to sell yourself short of what you are.
Mhm.
Yes, you are enough. What you have is enough. And if we could, you can. Just keep putting in the work and you'll get to where you aspire to be.
That was a good wrapping up. But the part that hits me most is those immigrant children. People on my WhatsApp group, they know I'm doing this for the immigrant children. My children were once in that position because I've traveled everywhere. Most of the time, I used to be in places where we were the only Black people. And I know that my children would have benefited from having Black teachers who understood them, who understood that play in Africa, it looks rough, but it's play. They're not doing it because they are trying to hurt somebody. They're not doing it because they are trying to cause harm. That's the way we play. If you don't like it, you say, okay, wait, it's okay. But going to go and cry. And then if another child hits my child, the teacher doesn't understand because he doesn't see any bruises on my child. But you hold, just to hold the other child's hand, you see bruises, you see your finger, just holding. So the teacher doesn't understand. She doesn't see any bruise on my child, but she sees a handprint on the other child. But if you are the one in the classroom, you would know that you can see the scars on a Black child. So please come, let's help these children. We cannot lose them. We brought them here for a better life. We all brought our children here for a better life. We cannot let misunderstanding and lost in translation make us get to the finish line without them. Please come, let's help them. Especially now. Teachers are needed now. The requirements have been dropped. This is the time for us to get in there to help our future, because these children are our future. They might not be yours, but they are Black like you. They're African children like you, and they're being swept aside. You can't lose them. Please help us.
Yay! We made it to the end.
Thank you guys for coming to
Yeah.
this point of the video with us. We thought it was going to be 1 hour, but it's an hour, 2 hours and 25 minutes. Thank you so much for staying with us till this point. We will sit down, we'll think about it, and we'll let you know when the next one is. I mean, off the top of my head, we've already said we might do it next weekend. So just look out for our flyers as usual. Oi! Take it away.
It was so nice. It was so nice hanging out with everyone. So we'll see you guys again when we see you. Okay?
Mommy.
Bye.
Yes. Bye.
Now,
Don't forget to go subscribe to our channels. That's how you encourage us.
Yes, please subscribe. Yeah.
Share this video, like, subscribe, and see you again. You can also give suggestions on what you would like us to talk about in the next video.
Yes,
okay?
Yes, that would be nice.
Bye.
Now, boy, the local people go say what around
Chifo. Bye.
Bye, guys.